Welcome back to the channel. Well, this is a video idea I've had on my mind for quite a while. You see a lot of channels putting out, the top 5 guns for the zombie apocalypse or top 5 best self-defense guns. Well, these are my top 3, maybe we'll throw in a wild card in there, favorite fun guns to shoot. If I'm just going to the range or a friend's house that we can shoot at, I just want to take some guns that are just fun. Not looking to be all tactical. Just have some fun. Good old-fashioned sport shooting. We've got 3 and possibly a wild card. The first one is my Chinese SKS. Now, on the surface, if you've been in the firearms game long enough, you know, oh, okay, this is boring old Chinese SKS. Now, one thing that makes this one unique is the blade bayonet. If you're familiar with the Chinese SKSs, you'll know that most of these came with a spike bayonet, but this one, original stock here, was cut for the blade. And best I can tell from the serial number, I think this is like an early 60s model, very early, like a 60, 61 production run. When I'm editing, I'll look that up, and if I can find it, I'll post it over here. But it's not a 100% number matching gun, but it does shoot well. It's not a collector grade. It's just a get out and shoot it. It's just fun. Very smooth action. And a lot of people kind of scoff at these. You would be very, very surprised at how accurate this gun can be. Just an old Chinese SKS. Shooting steel Russian ammo through it. I mean, I've shot this thing out to 200 yards with just these iron sights with boring regularity. One cool thing I do like about this one, like I said, does have the original stock on it there. This stock has some rather nice, how you might call it, patina on it. And still got the cleaning kit in the rear. So, I mean, this wouldn't be a bad option to have for these zombies. And if you're not familiar with these, it does have a 10-round fixed box magazine fed in with stripper clips. I've got a few of those in an ammo box somewhere. But this gun right here does have a little bit of heft to it. But definitely fun to shoot. So let's take a look at number 2. So number 2 here, it's not your standard Ruger 1022. Might look like it, but it is 50th anniversary model. This one came out in 2014. And I've added a few things. You know, it came with the pick rail on top. I put a Simmons, just a cheap scope on there. Little bipod, and it's got a threaded barrel. I don't have to tell you all what fun a threaded barrel can be, but one thing that, obviously it's a 22, so it's fun, cheap to shoot all day for 20 bucks. But one thing that really cemented this as a fun gun, obviously, but one of my favorite guns, this really showed me what amazing customer service Ruger has. I think I've got a video from years ago where I talk about this, but back when I first got this gun, I was cleaning it before I got any bore snakes and using, shouldn't have been using this, using a 2 or 3 piece metal cleaning rod with the brush on it. I figured out later on that brush gouged out the rifling down in this area here. So I called Ruger, and because this is 50th anniversary, has the different barrel than your standard 1022, I called him and I said, hey, here's what I did. I just need a barrel. I'm pretty sure that's what the issue is. And they said, okay, I'll send the gun in. And I said, okay, thanks, we can handle that. They sent me a prepaid shipping label. Send in the gun, and I told them, you know, if it, you know, however much the barrel will cost, let me know. Pay for it over the phone. We'll go from there. Never heard a word from them. About 2 weeks later, I got a tracking number notice for FedEx. This showed up at the door with the brand new barrel on it. No charge, no questions asked. You do not find that in many companies these days. So that is what really cemented Ruger for me. Aside from the fact that it's, you know, 50th anniversary gun. It's got a little emblem on the bolt there, so that's pretty cool. And, you know, it might be a collector thing one day, but, you know, I shoot my guns. I like to take it out quite a bit and shoot it. One of my favorite things to do with this is pick up shotgun shells off the range, stack them up, and then have competitions where we, you know, pick them off. Kind of a carnival game of sorts. So that's number 2. And for number 3 here, we're going to go with the good old tried and true Glock 19. You just can't beat a good Glock. You just can't beat a good Glock. And although this is not the first Glock 19 I ever bought, the Glock 19 was the first self-defense, you know, concealed carry pistol I bought. It's kind of a jack of all trades kind of deal. You can put a light on it. It's got enough grip there. You can get a full grip. 15 round magazine in a free state. 17 round and more, if you know what I mean. YouTube won't let me show that. So this one I have put XS big dot sights on it and an extended slide stop, slide release, whatever you want to use it as or call it. And as you know, most if not all Glocks, it's a tool. No different than the hammer hanging on my wall. So it's got some wear here and there. Nothing I'm worried about. I wouldn't abuse it because it is a tool and you don't abuse your tools. But at the end of the day, it is Glock. I think there is some beauty here. Some people think they're ugly as sin, but I think there's beauty in perfection and simplicity, no pun intended. By today's standards, you know, there's no forward slide serrations, there's no red dot mount, so it's just a classic, good old pistol. And I don't get to shoot this one as much as I would like to, but it is fun to shoot, easy to shoot. I've trained a few people on something like this. I'm not necessarily trained, but shown them the basics. And if you want boring reliability and holster selection on any street corner, you go with the Glock. So that's number 3. So for the wild card here, it's a pistol you've seen before. Obviously, I've done a video on it. The Hell-One 920. It's a copy of a Beretta 92S. But unlike a Taurus or something like that, this one is Egyptian. Other than a few AKs here and there, you don't really see many Egyptian guns in the country. So one thing that is particularly interesting to this one to me, aside from being an Egyptian gun, it's rare, very rare. I've not seen these for sale anywhere. You know, you can search on the internet and there's some older ads from like the early 2000s. But rare, not necessarily valuable though. It is a solidly built gun. Same open top Beretta action you would come to expect. Hammer drop safety. And I also found the owner's manual. The original owner's manual on eBay. I think. Found it somewhere. But one thing that's really cool about this, it came with a copy of the inspection certificate. Final inspection. Now this one is for serial number 1366. Mine is serial number 1347. So not that far off. I did email the seller and ask if by chance he had the one for this one. He did not. So, you know, that's pretty cool though. But another thing that kind of makes this one my favorite, 2 things actually. I got it from a very good friend of mine. So there's some quite a bit of sentimental value there, but also it was imported, you can see that, by N-Track Arms, Knoxville, Tennessee. Now, they're no longer in business from what I understand. They imported a few of these back in the day, a few other things. And this one does take your standard Beretta 92 magazines, as long as it's got that cut out there. I don't know that the new production Beretta magazines take that, or have that, but this is an actual Beretta magazine. And when I first saw this, I've seen a few, European style heel releases before, but if you follow that particular manual of arms, where you retain your magazine, put a new one in, you don't have to change your grip at all. I don't have to move at all. Push anything with my thumb. You got your left thumb there. Move that, call it a day. So those are my top 3, with a wild card for number 4, favorite guns that I own personally to take out and shoot, just for a good time. So thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more. Like I've said here recently, as soon as I can get out to the range with both functioning feet, we're going to shoot these. Thanks for watching.